Hello everyone. So I'm back with the second part of latitude and longitude. In part 1 I have explained about concept of latitudes, important latitudes, their location with degrees, parallels of latitude and their uses. For that you can refer to my previous video. In this chapter we'll learn about concept of longitudes, prime meridian, time, that is local, standard and time zones, Greenwich Mean Time and International Date Line, Eastern and Western Hemisphere, followed by using latitudes and longitudes to find location, calculation of time, great circles and their use. So we'll start with prime meridian. The Greenwich meridian or the prime meridian is the reference line for measuring east-westward distance on the earth. It is an imaginary line which converges on the two poles and passes through Greenwich near London, where there is an old observatory located. Prime meridian is taken as 0-degree meridian. The prime meridian along with 180-degree longitude divides the earth into two halves or hemispheres, the eastern and the western hemispheres. Part of the earth which lies between 0-degree and 180-degree east longitude is called the eastern hemisphere, and a part of the earth extending between 0-degree and 180-degree west is called the western hemisphere. Now we'll go ahead with the longitude. The lines of longitude are imaginary lines which join all the places having the same angular distance east or west of the prime meridian. All longitudes are semicircles converging at North Pole and the South Pole. Two meridians of the longitudes, 180 degrees apart from each other, together make a complete circle on the globe. The lines of longitudes are also called meridians because all the places located along a particular longitude face the overhead sun at the same time. The distance between two longitudes is maximum at the equator, about 111 km. As one goes away from the equator towards the poles, one finds that the interlongitudinal distance keeps on decreasing. This distance becomes zero as all the longitudes converge at the poles. The spherical shape of the earth makes only one half of it illuminated by the sun at any given time. The other side, which falls in dark side, experiences night. Time of any place is measured on the basis of the position of overhead sun or when the sun is at its highest point. It is noon. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Since the sun does not move but the earth rotates from west to east, the places located in the east see the sun first and the west places see the sun later. The earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation of 360 degree. This gives rise to a time differences of 4 minutes for 1 degree of longitude. You can do like 24 into 60, that 360, like that we can go ahead. A time difference of 4 minutes has to be added for each 1 degree of longitude towards the east. A time difference of 4 minutes has to be subtracted for each 1 degree of longitude towards the west. In other words, every 15 degree of longitude towards east, the local time is advanced by 1 hour, and for every 15 degree of longitude towards west, the time is retarded by 1 hour. So we'll go ahead with local time. The time of a place recognized by the midday sun is called the local time. All the places located along a particular longitude from North Pole to South Pole face the overhead sun at the same time. When the sun is overhead on a place, the angle of inclination is maximum over there. If we fix a pole on the ground and observe its shadow, we find that the length of the shadow is the shortest at 12 noon. It gives a clear indication of the position of the overhead sun. The shadow of the pole will become shorter as noon approaches and it will start growing longer in the afternoon. So now we'll learn about standard time. The local time of the meridian is taken as the standard time for the whole country or a large area. India is crossed by 30 meridians of longitudes. It means that the country has about 30 local times. To avoid such difficulty and confusions, the local time of a central meridian is taken as a standard time for the whole country or a large area. As I said about the standard time, now we'll learn Indian Standard Time, that is IST. The 82.5 east longitude is selected as the central meridian of India, which approximately divides the country into two halves. This meridian passes through Allahabad and is known as the standard meridian of India. The local time of this meridian is considered as the standard time for the whole country. It means that when it is noon at 82.5 degree east longitude, the time is taken as the whole country. So now Greenwich Mean Time. The local time of the Greenwich Meridian, also known as the Prime Meridian, is considered as the standard time for the whole world. It is called the Greenwich Mean Time or GMT. All the countries for the international travel follow it. The countries located to east of the Greenwich Meridian have their standard time ahead, and the countries located to the west of the Prime Meridian have their standard time behind of the GMT. The scientists use this information to divide the planet into 24 sections or time zones. Each time zone is 15 degrees of longitude wide. As you move west from Greenwich, every 15 degrees section or time zone is an hour earlier than GMT, while each time zone to the east is an hour later. Due to vast east to west longitudinal extent, many countries have more than one time zones. Example, Russia and USA has 11 time zones, Australia has 8 time zones, Canada has 6 time zones, etc. France has the maximum time zones in the world, that is 12 time zones, because it has several overseas territories. So to avoid such confusion, the countries having large east-west extension have to follow more than one time zone. So they have many time zones. IDL, that is International Date Line, fixed by international agreement, is an imaginary line along the 180-degree meridian extending from North Pole to South Pole. It is marked on the place of the Earth's surface where each new date begins first. The longitude which lies diametrically opposite to the prime meridian, that is 0 degree, is numbered as 180 degree, which passes through the mid-Pacific where less land mass is present. The international date line coincides with 180 degree, that is east or west. So question comes in mind, what's the needs for international date line? International date line exists for a specific reason. It marks the time zone's border where the date is actually changed by a whole day. On most maps, it is shown as an uneven black line because there are some locations where the border has been shifted. You can see in the diagram. To avoid such confusion, a correction of date is made along the 180-degree longitude, which means that whenever a ship or plane crosses 180-degree longitude from west to east, it repeats a day or a date. It is gained, and when it crosses the same meridian or line from east to west, it omits or loses one day or date. So the another question which comes in mind, international dateline is not straight. Why it is not straight? So international dateline roughly follows 180-degree longitude, but like time zones, there are some adjustments made. Few countries and islands groups are located very close to 180-degree longitude. To keep them wholly on the same side of the line or under same administration, the international dateline goes in zigzag way, passes over only seas and oceans. The international dateline bands and goes zigzag at the Bering Strait, you can see on screen, between Siberia and Alaska, Fiji, Tonga, and in some other islands. You can see on your screen a big circle. So which is great circle. The earth is spherical body. If the earth is divided exactly into two halves by a circle with its center coinciding with that of the earth's center, simultaneously the radius of the circle should also be equal to that of the earth's radius. It is called a great circle. The equator is the greatest possible circle, as the earth is bulged at the equator, representing the largest circumference of the earth. All latitudes except the equator are small circles because they do not divide the earth into two equal parts. So now we'll discuss importance of the great circle or uses of great circles. In geography, the use of great circle is for navigation because they represents the shortest distance between 2 points on a sphere. It is a very economical to use great circle routes as they have time as well as a fuel. Except frigid zone, that is Arctic and Antarctic regions, sailors use great circle routes for safe navigation through seas. And the last, great circles are used by ships and aircrafts to find shortest distance between two poles. There is always easy way to learn different things. I have come up with one of the easiest way to remember major lines of latitude through body parts. So top of head, consider North Pole, ears, Arctic Circle, as come little down to your shoulders as Tropic of Cancer, your waist, equator, that's a mid of part of your body, your knees, Tropic of Capricorn, shins can be considered as Antarctic Circle, and your toes will be South Pole. Thank you so much. We'll be back with another chapter.